Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Chief Pat, and today we're going to be showing off some battles I had as I was climbing my way up the leaderboard, seeing as the rankings were reset in the Legendary Arena as of Sunday. So I was trying to take advantage of that by sort of just sitting back and waiting for some people to climb up in trophies, and today I went on an insane trophy push, starting at 3,000 trophies on the dot, which is obviously where you get reset to, and then trying to climb as much as I could over the span of about 2 hours. I think it was like from 4 p.m. finish time to about 6 p.m. And yeah, let's go ahead and keep moving. You can see my giant skeleton made its way down the right hand side, and seeing as my Valkyrie actually took the shield off of the Dark Prince, the bomb's gonna kill absolutely everything, and with only a princess left on the very top right, things are definitely not looking good for Fish Lol. And the craziest thing during this push is I was getting an insane amount of 3 stars. I know in the beginning I was playing level 9s and level 10s who were at like 3,000 and 3,100 trophies. Felt pretty bad for those guys, but against these level 12s and level 11s, I was actually pulling off a lot of 3-crown victories, which is always exciting. It's pretty fun to get 3 crowns and not just have the standard 1-0 victory where you're, sending a single hog rider down the lane or trying to poke your way out with 3 musketeers. It was really fun to try to just dominate people, and that's what I did right here. I dropped all 3 musketeers on his side of the map. I went for a game-ending push, and that's exactly what happened for a quick 3-crown-0 victory, and I think under a minute and a half. So pretty fun stuff. And let's go and hop into another battle, this one against another level 12. You can see, taking a look at my starting hand, I've got the Valkyrie, Cannon, Freeze, and Spear Goblins, and I get a lot of questions about what I play in the beginning. Now, I only play 3 cards as my starter unless my opponent plays first. Usually I'll play something like the Valkyrie in the back, the giant skeleton in the back, or I'll split my 3 musketeers in the back, so 2 go to the right hand side and 1 goes to the left, just to make sure they can't rocket me down. And deciding on this one, I actually ended up dropping my Valkyrie, and take a look at him. He dropped a P.E.K.K.A. on the other side of the map. So at this point, I was like, hey, if you're not going to respond, then I guess I'll just drop 3 musketeers and go crazy on this side. So that's what I ended up doing. But take a look at this embarrassing moment. I was looking at his side and I froze absolutely nothing. Now, that is obviously not how you want to play the game. That was 4 elixir down the drain, and honestly, 4 elixir, you're about to see in a moment, is a very hefty price to pay. With that 4 elixir, I could have frozen him on this side of the map and killed his P.E.K.K.A. Valkyrie push with my goblins and spear goblins, but instead, he's going to start going crazy. I've got to take care of that hog rider. The Valkyrie is so unbelievably tanky that it's just going to keep swinging away at our tower without taking really too much damage. And yeah, that 1 free spell cost me a tower right there. And that's a little bit unfortunate going into the rest of the battle, but seeing how he played that first interaction, I was still really confident. If he played the P.E.K.K.A. on the other side of the map again, and I played the game actually correctly as I was supposed to do it, not just freeze the grass and to prevent the grass from growing, then I knew I was still in pretty good shape. So let's go ahead and go for another push with our giant skeleton down the right-hand lane. Now, taking a look at his hand, he played an elixir collector, and he decided to mirror his elixir collector, so I'm just going to poison both of those and absolutely ruin all of the value that he had. And now with our giant skeleton going down the lane, he didn't have a single card that could really counter it, which means we're going to get pretty much a free tower right there, and a couple more spear goblins to help take out this wizard right here, as well as chip the tower, or the king tower, just a bit during the end of this battle. Okay, so taking a look at where he's going to play, he's trying to take advantage of those elixir pumps, so he'll play his P.E.K.K.A. right there. Looks like he's going to follow it up with a hog rider. Now, of course, we're fighting on my side of the map, which is obviously beneficial, and I can just freeze both of those units, which is going to be an insanely favorable elixir trade for me. And with this Valkyrie dropping in the very center, I'm just going to go crazy on a push. Now, I still have 1 musketeer remaining, so I dropped that right there, and I actually dropped a cannon to see what he was going to play. If he dropped goblins or something, the cannon obviously would have been huge, but still, it was able to get a couple of shots off against that wizard. And with all of these musketeers and goblins and spear goblins on the tower, that was yet another 3-crown victory, starting off pretty shaky but bringing it back in the end for a pretty dominating result. I feel like he pushed his advantage too much, and he didn't respect the 3 musketeers, which obviously is one of the most ridiculous cards that you have to respect. So it's very counterable if you play it right, but if you don't respect the 3 musketeers, it'll definitely take you out, which is why it's so fun to play. And take a look at this one here. You can see how I split my 3 musketeers, just because I don't know if he has a rocket, a fireball, a lightning spell. All of those will destroy the 3 musketeers, even the poison spell, so that's why I did that. But seeing as he dropped an ice wizard on the right hand side, that actually gives me time for my giant skeleton to go down and give my musketeers a little bit of a reprieve. So it looks like he dropped a dark prince. That's going to get annihilated. Looks like he actually dropped a free spell to try to stop me in my tracks, but really not going to do too much. And as my goblins stab away at that dark prince, they're also going to go to the tower. The princess is going to go down and say goodbye to the right-hand tower. That will be the first tower going down in the game with 2:06 left inside of regular time. So when this happens, I generally feel pretty confident, and I like going for 3 crowns, especially against someone in this example who's level 11. So let's go ahead and keep playing. I dropped the safe Valkyrie in the back to see how he would respond. Looks like he's hovering the elixir collector, so we'll have to see where he plays that. And he plays that on the top left, which means I'm just going to drop some spear goblins to counter on the right, as well as some 3 musketeers behind my Valkyrie for yet another massive push on the left-hand side of the map. Okay, so looks like he dropped his P.E.K.K.A. However, one of my musketeers is still shooting the tower. He's going to drop his free spell, but check this free spell right here. It stops the P.E.K.K.A.'s arm mid-air, and since that happened, he's going to drop his princess. My goblins are going to go down right after and help stab her to death, or I guess just look pretty and get in the way. And now that we have a massive push going down in the very center, really not too much else he can do. He might give up, or he might drop a prince. Looks like he's going to drop a prince and not give this one up. But at this point, once 2 towers are down, you can actually just drop your 3 musketeers in like the very center of their map, and it absolutely decimates their king tower. So let's just go ahead and wait and see what happens. There's a minute left, still plenty of time to get that 3rd crown. He's going to play an elixir collector. He's really going for late game, guys. He wants to make sure that when we go to overtime, he has all the elixir that he needs. Looks like our spear goblins are going to go down. 3 musketeers are going to go down. He'll drop his ice wizard, which will be instantly evaporated. He's going to try to freeze some of our stuff. We'll freeze his P.E.K.K.A., which is going to get hit by that giant bomb explosion. Goblins will go down in predicting of something that he was going to drop in front of it. And seeing as the goblin was only level 7, or no, the dark prince was only level 7, that means we're just going to be able to crush our way through, take out that tower, and give us our 3rd 3 crown in a row for some pretty insane replays towards the top of the leaderboard. Okay, so one more replay to match or wrap it up. Let's go ahead and see if we can get one more right here. This one's going to be against Toss, another level 12. I think he finished the last season somewhere pretty well. I forget exactly where he was, maybe in the top 10, top 20. So pretty good match right here. Taking a look at our starting cards, I was actually, I think, again, you guys always make fun of me because I say in videos that sometimes I check Twitter when I play, but I was on Twitter and I didn't even realize I got matched up in a battle, so I wasted some elixir right there. So still got the 3 musketeer split down, and taking a look at his deck, he's rocking the spawner deck, which is one of the favorite decks I have to play against using this deck, because both the Valkyrie, the giant skeleton, even the 3 musketeers, they're all so effective against these types of decks. And yeah, we're already getting some good damage off on the tower. Our musketeers are shooting away, and we've gotten a pretty significant lead so far, and we haven't even played our giant skeleton yet. Now, I'm not going to drop anything to counter those spear goblins. If you guys ever run into a spear goblin hut, it's okay to take a little bit of damage. Don't freak out and drop something like your goblins or like that down the lane. But take a look at that one card I have on the bottom left. The poison spell is going to be insane against this deck. I can drop my poison spell. He hasn't played his, or maybe he did play his barbarian hut, but pretty much I assume when someone has one of the huts, they have the other. So once he sets up double huts, I can go insane with that. But still, he hasn't dropped that barbarian hut yet. Let's go ahead and drop our 3 musketeers in the very center. Those are going to go nuts right here. And taking a look at our giant skeleton, sort of going to explode without doing too much. Looks like he has the cannon inside of his hand, which we can shoot down fairly quickly with our musketeers, and now just get a little bit more poke damage off on those towers, similar to the first push, and both of them are getting pretty low with about a minute and a half left in the battle. So his next poison spell, or his next elixir pump's going to go down, and he still hasn't played his barbarian hut yet, or at least since the very beginning. I don't remember if he dropped in the very beginning. I'm going to drop my cannon because I thought he would go on a push fairly soon. But remembering that he's using a spawner deck, he doesn't have a quick way to get to the tower. The only way he can really win is by overloading us with those spawning troops. And seeing where he dropped that goblin hut, I thought it was pretty good to drop our poison spell. Not only because that tower is only going to take 3 more poisons to take out now, but it also took care of the elixir pump. It took care of the goblin hut for a bit. So pretty nice poison spell right there. And now let's go for a push on both sides with our Valkyrie as well as spear goblins, as well as our giant skeleton on the right hand side. And now that the 3 musketeers are coming out, this is where his deck really struggles. He doesn't have a fireball, he doesn't have a free spell, he doesn't have a Valkyrie. He really has no good counters for the 3 musketeers. He has to really stockpile a ton of troops, or he has to get like a really good cannon down while following up with something else. I don't even know what he could do. I really feel like he got outdrafted as far as his deck went. And now with only 19 seconds left, this one's pretty much over. I dropped a cannon in the back. I shouldn't have been so scared because he pretty much gave up. You can see the 10 elixir bar at the very top is completely filled. And yeah, that was pretty much it for this replay. And as we rush down that king tower, unfortunately, not going to have enough time to end it in the 3-crown victory, but still pretty much there. And GG for another victory on this push. So in total, let's go ahead and check out where we were. I won most of my battles. I think I lost 2 battles today, maybe 3 tops during my trophy push, but I really think it was 2. And we ended up from 3,000 all the way getting up to 3,860 trophies. And taking a look at the leaderboard, I ended up at number 5, and you can see I gained 999 spots, and I sort of just rocketed my way to the top through a couple of victories. I could have kept pushing, but I thought that I would take a little bit of the break, grab dinner, and see what I could do from there. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you drop a like. I'm going to keep up my pushing. Hopefully we can hit number 1 spot maybe tomorrow or something like that. I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace.